how can Peter Obi win any election? Peter Obi is polling 1% in Sokoto, 2% in Katsina, 5% in Kano. That's why the votes are.
El-Rufai, who has been quiet, sort of, decided to spill, and he said that he brought out a particular result sheet that it was Peter Obi that won the 2023 elections. Same El-Rufai has suddenly taken to his X account to declare that Obi was robbed of victory and that he regrets supporting what he now describes as a rigged process. But
viewers, something interesting is happening in Nigerian's political space. Two powerful political figures who once stood on the other side of 2023 elections have suddenly changed their tune. Former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai now says Peter Obi actually won the 2023 presidential election.
What is Peter bringing to the table? That he saved some money in his state. So you save money when there are no roads, there are no schools, there are no hospitals.
And former Rivers State Governor and Tinubu's ally during the campaign, Rotimi Amaechi, says Obi even won Rivers State despite the controversial INEC results that handed it to Tinubu. Why are they saying this now? Is it because the truth is finally catching up? Or is it just another political game? Because both men are now in the opposition to Tinubu's government. Let's rewind to 2023. The presidential election was one of the most hotly contested in Nigeria's history. Peter Obi, representing the Labour Party, was the face of the youth-driven movement, the Obedient Wave, that swept across the country, from Lagos to Kano, from Port Harcourt to Jos. But when INEC announced the results, Bola Tinubu of the APC was declared winner, with Atiku Abubakar in second place and Obi in third. Obi's supporters rejected the result, citing massive irregularities, vote suppression and manipulation, especially in states like Rivers, Lagos and Abuja. And here's the key point. At that time, people like El-Rufai and Amaechi never publicly agreed Obi had won anything. In fact, El-Rufai openly campaigned for Tinubu, while Amaechi kept a strategic silence despite his known disagreements with Wike in Rivers. Fast forward to 2025, both men are now singing a different tune. Nasir El-Rufai, in a recent political gathering, declared point blank, Peter Obi won the 2023 election. No sugarcoating, no political grammar, a straight punchline that set social media on fire. Then came Rotimi Amaechi, dropping his own bombshell. Peter Obi won Rivers in 2023. That's coming from a man who was Rivers governor for 8 years, knows every political word and understands how the votes were counted or altered. These are not obedient influencers or online activists. They are insiders, men who have played politics at the highest level. Which begs the question, why admit this now? Let's be honest. Nigerian politicians don't just wake up and confess past truths out of moral convention. There is unusual political calculation behind it. First motive, they are now in opposition to Tinubu. El-Rufai's political romance with Tinubu is over. His ministerial ambitions were frustrated. He has been freezing out of the inner circle. So now, he is firing political missiles from outside the fortress. And what better missile than to remind Nigerians that Tinubu's presidency was born in controversy. Amaechi, his rivalry with Nyesom Wike is legendary. Wike was Tinubu's key man in Rivers during the 2023 elections, the one accused of delivering Rivers to APC through questionable collation center activities. By saying Obi actually won, Amaechi isn't just attacking Tinubu, he is also wounding Wike politically. Second motive, positioning for 2027. Both men know Tinubu's approval ratings are struggling. Economic hardship, insecurity, and policy backlash have weakened public confidence, so they are looking for the next viable political vehicle. And Peter Obi's movement remains the most energetic grassroots force in Nigeria today. By aligning with Obi's 2023 victory narrative, they might be opening a door to future alliances, even if they won't admit to it yet. Third motive, testing public reaction. Statements like these are also political trial balloons. They want to see, will Nigerians rally around this confession? Will it trend? Will it destabilize Tinubu's media narrative? Politically, these admissions are a double-edged sword for Obi. On the other hand, it vindicates the obedient movement, confirming what they have always claimed. It strengthens Obi's image as the man who was robbed, the people's choice denied by a rigged system. On the other hand, Obi must be careful. El-Rufai and Amaechi are not saints. They are both political tacticians with their own baggage. Aligning too quickly with them could dilute Obi's brand as the clean, principled outsider. But strategically, these cracks in the APC power brick are gold for Obi's 2027 ambition. It shows Tinubu's coalition isn't as solid as it was in 2023. These statements are not just about the past. They are part of a 2027 chess game already in motion. Nigeria's political map is shifting. Discontent is growing. Former allies are now turning into critics. And the same people who helped build the 2023 outcome are now poking holes in its legitimacy. For Tinubu, this is dangerous. Once your own insider starts validating the opposition's claim, the narrative war becomes harder to control. So, Nigerians, do you think El-Rufai and Amaechi are now speaking the truth out of conscience? Or are they just playing the old political survival game, switching sides as 2027 draws near? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this one will shake the table.
Peter Obi is polling 1% in Sokoto, 2% in Katsina, 5% in Kano. That's where the votes are. All states are not equal. The fact that you are doing 70% in Anambra State does not mean somebody doing 10% in Kano is not better than you. The number of votes in Anambra is the size of one local government in Kaduna State. So all states are not equal. If you poll states and you make them equal, yes, Peter Obi will sweep the southeastern states. He will do well in South-South. Where else? He's not polling well in Southwest, other than a drop in the ocean in Lagos. He is polling in the Christian enclaves in the north. He's polling well, but how many are they? Peter Obi cannot win the election. He doesn't have the number of states. He doesn't have 25% in more than, the last time we checked, in more than 16 states.
My response to the person who asked me about him was as simple. What is Peter bringing to the table? That he saved some money in his state. So you save money when there are no roads, there are no schools, there are no hospitals. You save money.
No, he said he built schools, he said he rehabilitated roads.
Why not you try to go to Anambra now?